Good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to attempt to relocate my Balmar voltage regulator on my early build 2018 Banff. It's tucked up here under the frame rail. Mid to late 2018 and the 2019s, the factory realized the error in the design and started locating them under the engine compartment. A lot of people fail. They're supposed to be protected from the elements, but that's really not the case. There's been a lot of shorting out, rusted contacts. So let's see what happens. First step is to remove the fuses. And right behind the Balmar, there are two fuse connectors. They're right here, them two oblong fuses. There's two there, and there's two in the underhood fuse compartment. On the driver's side, in the engine compartment, is the fuse compartment. There is a nut there at the back and one at the front. You have to undo them to take the cover off. The fuse you want to pull here is the fuse with the red wire coming off it. There's two small fuses. Okay, I got the Balmar removed. Before removing it, take a picture of where your wires go. It's important, so you make sure you put it together right or it won't work. Next, on the passenger side, there's a plastic cover that protects the underhood generator. You want to take out the three front screws, 1, 2, and one around here on the corner, so you can drop the front of it, so you can access from the Balmar along the bottom of the vehicle, along the red cable, and cut all the tie wraps. When you're done, the cable that went to the Balmar will be hanging on the ground. The next step is going to use a fish tape to fish it up next to the radiator on the passenger side. I was able to fish the wiring harness up the passenger side of the rad cradle. So now the wires are up to the top. It's just a matter of mounting it and reconnecting it back on. But before I do, I like to put dielectric grease on the contacts so they don't rust and corrode, and it'll keep the moisture wire back to the fuse box. I drilled a hole close to the Balmar for a tie wrap, and then I'm going to just tie wrap it to the existing wires. I'll roll up any slack, and we'll be good to go. I ran my wire, tie wrapped it securely, ran it back into position to the fuse box, and now I'm putting the nuts back on to secure the lid, and then I will continue with the other wire of the Balmar and put my wires back in place where they belong. I installed the two fuses. Now it's a matter of installing the covers, finishing tie wrapping the wires. Okay, next I tie wrapped the red heavy charge cable going to the underhood generator back to the underneath of the vehicle. It's important to put a tie wrap wherever there's a hole. You don't want this thing flopping around or anything getting caught on it. So the more secure it is, the better. Okay, next step is to put the screws and spacers in that hold the mudguard in place. The thing that needs to be done, or should be done, is to notch out the pan where the plug with the blue wire goes. Because as you can see, my blue wire is a little bit flattened because the lip of the mudguard actually pushes up against that plug, and some people have had their blue wire break off. So it's not a very pretty job, but it gets the job accomplished. Now I'm going to put the screws and spacers back in, and the job should be complete. Balmar is moved, and it's working. I'm showing 13.8 volts. So I'm charging. Success. Total time was approximately 2 hours, but I was making this video stop and start There are a few important things to bear in mind. First of all, and most important, remove all the fuses before you start. You don't want any live voltage while you're doing this. Second would be to make sure when you run the wire beside the fan, shroud, and radiator that it's nowhere near anything moving. Keep it as far as possible. The wires are long enough to fit. There is no altering or extending of the wires. They all fit perfectly. It's just a matter of rerouting them. So this is my experience, folks, and I hope everybody who is interested in moving their Balmar can do it on their own. Thank you for watching, and good luck moving yours. Thank you.